morning, everyone. We're happy to see you here again today. So let's start with Ifeanyi Inyerike. Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen of the Fourth Estate of the Rib and all other persons present here. We thank you so much for making our time to come and be with us. This is a clarion call, and we are happy that everybody is part of what we are about to talk about. Of recent, we knew what crystallized from last year during the campaign for the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. From voters registration, we got to proper election. After the election petition tribunal. At every stage, there has been massive enlightenment. It started by all the aspirants holding various rallies, and up to the point there was the primaries of the various political parties, and afterwards campaign. At every point, all eyes were pointing at a particular direction. After a while, the eyes pointed at the election petition proceedings going on at various places across the country, and particularly the presidential own, which was going on at the Court of Appeal. After that particular, the judgment has been reserved, and we know that before the 21st of September, judgment must be delivered by the tribunal. It has generated so much anxiety, it has generated so much tension, it has generated so much interest. This has led to the maxim that all eyes on the judiciary. Some people are uncomfortable about it, and being uncomfortable about it, it has led to some incidents which reinforce the belief that all eyes should be on judiciary. The question is, by all eyes being on judiciary, is judiciary being intimidated, or the Nigerian public, are we performing our duties as responsible Nigerians who have interest and they are stake at what we are doing? 3 incidents have happened which have made it very uncomfortable, and there is need for this World Press Conference. The first one is the incident that happened some days ago, where the ACON, Advertising Regulation Council of Nigeria, banned the billboard of all eyes on the judiciary, and at the same time ordered that it should be pulled down. After the pulling down of the all eyes after the pulling down of the billboards, the next thing we saw that the people, staff, directors, and the deputy directors that approved that gave the approval for the erection of the billboard were suspended. As we are on that particular one, while all those things were going on, the apprehension of Nigerians were equally accentuated when a senior member of the Nigerian Bar Association was accused of trying to approach members of the Election Petition Tribunal in Kano. And it was stated by no other person than a member of that particular tribunal. And it was worrisome because it was done by a very senior member of who was unnamed, in as much as that issue is being handled by Nigerian Bar Association, but it equally amplifies the reason for all eyes to be on the judiciary. And some incident just happened on the 20th, that is on the 19th, on the 20th of August, when some members decided to hold a rally. 3 of them were arrested, one Ifeanyi Chigozie and 2 others. They were arrested. In as much as they were released hours after the arrest, because they were holding a rally saying that all eyes will be on judiciary, they were arrested by the police, and they were released hours later. But the truth about it is that as we are speaking, one of them is so traumatized that we are worried about the state of his health. We don't know what happened to him at the police station. Granted that he was released hours after that. It was on the basis of that that we have been asked to come and throw a light on the whether all eyes on judiciary, whether it is actually legal, whether it is actually our constitutional right, and whether there is anything wrong with it. I have decided to give this narrative to enable us know that at every point in time, Nigerian eyes were on something. At a point in time, Nigerian eyes were on registering to vote. At another point in time, Nigerian eyes were on voting. At another point in time, after the election, Nigerian eyes were on election petition proceedings going on at various states of the Federation. And at this particular time, Nigerian eyes is on the judgment that will be delivered anytime soon to be accorded. And the truth about it is that if people decide, particularly Nigerian citizens, decide to hold a rally or sensitization, it is allowed, it is within their reign, it is within their right. Particularly provisions of Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution and Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution, it allows people to gather, to hold opinion, to right of association, just like we are doing here. It is constitutional. And just like I'm talking, right to express an opinion, it is constitutional. The only time that we can be barred, it is equally so fundamental that it is equally provided in African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The reason at Article 11, the reason is that it is inalienable. It is a right which you have to exercise at every time. If you are not allowed to exercise it, the implication is that you may take to the street. The only exception, the only time is that there is a limitation if it is against the law. In this instance, or if it is outside the limitations that are placed by the law. There is no limitation that is placed by the law in the present environment which we are operating upon. As we are speaking presently, there is no state of emergency in Nigeria. So the provisions of Section 45 of the Constitution cannot come in, because that is the only time you can be restricted from having free association and free assembly. Or even Article 11, that particular exceptions that are placed in therein. So that being the case, everybody is allowed to exercise his opinion. Everybody is allowed to gather. Everybody is allowed to be part and hold opinion. The most important consideration here is that, this that is looking technically as a clampdown on people that are exercising their rights. In 2003, a similar scenario occurred. That particular time, after the immediate past president, President Muhammad Buhari, lost the election, he decided to have a rally. Notwithstanding that there was an election petition going on at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja, he decided to hold rallies. In that rally that was held in September 2003, tear gas were used, and afterwards, a day afterwards, his running mate then, Senator Chubo Kadibo, died of breathing complications. As a result of that, a revered senior lawyer, Femi Falana, went to court on behalf of ANPP, which was the platform under which President Buhari then ran. Justice Chikere of the Federal High Court delivered a judgment and clearly stated that it is constitutional for you to have your rallies, that the most important consideration is that such rallies shall not be held in the state of emergency, but at that particular time that such conditions or such environment does not exist, and that everybody has a right to hold their rally, and that Public Order Act 1, Section 1, cannot operate to contravene the provisions of Section 39 and 40 of the Constitution. And we all know that the Constitution is the ground norm upon which every other law is based. And any provisions of any other act or statute or laws that is inconsistent with the Constitution, to the extent of that inconsistency, is null and void. So it is on the basis of that that we've decided to throw light. And they say that all eyes on judiciary, there is nothing wrong with it. Because as we are speaking, there is no day that passes without anybody thinking about what will be the outcome of this presidential petition that is on now. Some persons, even as we walked in here, have asked me that question: what will be the outcome? I say we will wait for the judiciary to deliver judgment. And that is all eyes being on judiciary. It is just like saying the judiciary is the last hope of common man. Anybody that does not have any skeleton in his cupboard, we have nothing to fear. We have nothing to show any apprehension. That particular position does not in any way, it is not mounting pressure, it is saying that all eyes should be on judiciary. Let us see what you people can do. And we hope that at the end of the day, that we will have the judgment that will make everybody to be happy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is basically the reason why we have decided to come and speak to Nigerians and speak to the world and tell them that this is still, because it is not enough for us to say that we are having a civilian administration. That civilian administration must be democratic, in line with the provisions of the Constitution. And if anybody is dissatisfied, the Constitution has equally made provisions upon which we can take care of any aspect of your disaffection or dissatisfaction. One is you can have opinion, another one you can have a right of assembly, another one you can equally approach the court and challenge it, another one is a reasonable and legitimate expectation from the judgment that will come from the court. If at the end of the day you are equally not satisfied, there is the Supreme Court. After the Supreme Court, because at a point in time, all eyes will move to the Supreme Court, because Court of Appeal is not the final case in some of the election petition tribunal that is going on. It can get up to Supreme Court, or in some cases, assuming if it is a National Assembly election petition, it stops at Court of Appeal or that of the House of Assembly. But for Guba and presidency, they get to the Supreme Court. So everybody has a right, particularly if you are a Nigerian, if you are a citizen, you have a right to check and to aspire and to ask questions about how the conduct that will lead to people that are ruling you are going at the various election petition tribunals. Thank you very much.
We just had a discussion on the legal boundaries of peaceful civil marches and the all eyes on the judiciary movement. Now, one thing I can pick up from what he has said today is that as citizens of this great nation, we have every right. We have every right to free association, freedom of speech, okay? And then, legally, we can hold peaceful rallies without being afraid, without being intimidated. We have heard from him today, and I'm so happy that this has been stated clearly. And like he mentioned, what happened on Sunday shouldn't have happened at all, because people came out peacefully to hold a rally, but we all know how it turned out to be. People, once again, the good citizens of this country, were once again intimidated. And we're saying no to that. Yes, because today we have heard from Ifeanyi Enrique, a legal practitioner, that we have that freedom of movement, freedom to express ourselves. If anything is not going on well in the country, it is only right for young people, for not just young people, the old and young alike, to come out and speak. So we are saying no to that. Thank you so much once again, Ifeanyi Enrique. Let me just once again introduce FCC Jones. So FCC Jones is going to be talking to us briefly on the support. We have an upcoming rally on Saturday. It's going to be a very peaceful one. So let's hear what he has to say concerning that.
Good day to everyone. My name is Onwa Sanya FCC Jones. I am of the COPDEM, I thank our friend Barrister Ifeanyi Realike, who has laid a legal background to what we are doing. Over the past few days since the movement called All Eyes on the Judiciary started, a lot of things have happened, have taken place, and it is important that we got a lawyer's perspective on it to make us understand that everything we do is legal. And I want to say that the only people who will be concerned negatively about a movement that says all eyes on the judiciary are people who have criminal intents, who have extrajudicial intent, who want to do something illegal. It is unfortunate that some members of COPDEM and ordinary Nigerians who feel that it is right to call the attention of the judiciary to the hopes. The All Eyes on the Judiciary movement is in line with the popular maxim that the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. If any system tries to stop the people from holding the judiciary to account, then that system is self-destructive. That system does not want to stand. Because if you do not believe in the judiciary, then you are calling for people to take to self-help measures. If the people cannot come out to say the only people or the only institution we rely on in this matter is the judiciary, then you are asking them to take up or to take actions that are illegal. And these actions that are illegal may be violent, it won't tell good on our society. So the All Eyes on the Judiciary movement is actually a pro-Nigerian movement, a pro-national movement. It is a movement championed by the best patriots, those who are most patriotic, and those who believe most in Nigeria's unity, those who believe most in Nigeria's democracy. We are saying that the Nigerian judiciary should not rely on technicalities to give its judgment, but they should rely on evidence, on law, on constitutionality. Anything outside that, we do not want a situation where someone who comes first on the basis of technicality. We do not want a situation where we are told that, well, what you argued is correct, but because you did not file on time, or because there is a misspelling on your summons or on your argument, we are going to strike it out. We want these matters in the judiciary or at different courts across the land, at the Presidential Election Petition Court, and at the National Assembly and State Assembly Petition Court, and Governorship Election Petition Court. We want these cases to be heard on their merit. We want these cases to be heard on the basis of the evidence presented. Are those individuals who are currently holding or occupying governorship, presidential, National Assembly, State Assembly positions qualified in the first place to sit to contest that election? It is important that these things are ruled for posterity purposes. Because if we get to a situation where Nigerians do no longer have hope, do not have faith in the judiciary, we run a risk of destroying this nation. And COPDEM is leading a movement to say that we want Nigeria to remain, that we want our democracy to be sustained, that we want our democracy to be strengthened, that we do not want anything to happen to this democracy. That is why we are saying elections have held with all the presumed irregularities. We are now looking at the judiciary to do justice. In fact, we expect the Chief Justice of Nigeria to be at the helm of this movement, because we are saying what he should say. We are helping him advance his argument that the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Any system, any democracy, any nation that does not believe in democracy, that does not work to preserve the independence of the judiciary, the faith of the people in the judiciary, is a system prone to death. That system is sure to collapse. People who are currently benefiting or who have long benefited from the decadence in the Nigerian system believe that it will have to continue that way. But I have to remind us that Nigerians have taken enough. Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are frustrated. And in COPDEM, we are trying to ensure that Nigerians, the anger of Nigerians, do not overboil into something that might be considered illegal and destructive. We are trying to save Nigeria from going down. We are trying to save our democracy by saying that the judiciary, which is the last hope of the common man, must do its work without interference. The legal practitioner here has referred to a case where a member of a petition tribunal came out to say that attempts were made to try to buy over some members of the tribunal to give judgments that are not right. And up to date, we haven't heard that security agents invited those who were accused directly of trying to bribe members of the judiciary. And I want to call on the security agencies to stop harassing people who protest legally. If you harass people who protest legally, then you are encouraging people to take actions that are illegal. You are encouraging people to take actions that will be detrimental to our national cohesion. If you continue to harass people, if you continue to try to stop people from embarking on rallies, from embarking on protests, from embarking on demonstrations, you are telling them to go back home and take up arms. And that would be very unfortunate. We are calling on the security agencies to devote time in arresting those who are causing trouble in this nation. We need their efficiency, we need their gallantry, we need their competence in areas of this country where citizens pay taxes to non-state actors. We need their proficiency, we need their competence, we need their gallantry in areas of this country where civilians sit at home on Mondays, sometimes for 2 weeks, on a stretch without going to work because terrorists have ordered it. We need their competence, we need their gallantry, we need their patriotism in areas in this country where kidnapping, where terrorism have become the order of the day. They should stop harassing innocent citizens. They should stop harassing people who call for orderliness. They should stop harassing people who are expressing faith in the judiciary. They should stop harassing people who are calling for the right thing to be done. We are rather trying to secure a better future for them and for their children. They are not servants of the political class. They are servants of the Nigerian people. The security agents are Nigerians. They buy food in the same market that we do. They have dependents like we do. They understand how hard things are like we all do. They also understand that the individuals who are currently occupying political offices across the country, a number of them are not the choices of the people. They will also benefit if the judiciary do the right thing. So we are calling on the security agencies that their major task, their work, their loyalty is to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to the Nigerian people. Not to the president, not to the governor, not to the House of Assembly member, not to the House of Representatives member, but to the ordinary Nigerian who pays tax, whose taxes are used to pay them salaries. They owe them that loyalty. Their allegiance is to them. And they may say that they are obeying orders from the executive, from the people in government. I know that the law does not say you must obey orders. There is something they say, lawful orders. They should only obey lawful orders. When you are told to go and beat up an innocent citizen for participating in a rally, you have a right to say no. Because your first power comes from the Constitution, and your second power comes from the people. So it is important for us, the members of the press, to continue to partner with COPDEM, to invite people to participate in the protest or in the rally we will be having on Saturday at Area 3 here in Abuja. That protest does not So the protest which is going to take place here in Abuja, we encourage you, we urge you to please make it go viral. Tell people to participate. This is not about anybody. This is not about any politician. This is about Nigeria. This is about our democracy. This rally is being organized by COPDEM, which is Coalition for Protection of Democracy. And this rally is not for any political party, but for everybody. So for as many people as they are that love Nigeria, for as many people as they are that love our democracy, that for as many people as they are that love the continued unity of this country, we invite you to participate in the rally, to continue to call the attention of the judiciary, of the system, to the fact that Nigerians' last hope is on the judiciary, that the judiciary should do what is best for the preservation of our democracy and for the sustenance of our union. Thank you very much.
Now, as Nigeria, as journalists like they rightly mentioned, that you are the fourth estate of the realm, and it comes with a lot of responsibility on your own part and on the part of the whole of Nigerians. Now, do we need to wait till somebody is killed or till things get out of hand before we get up for our rights? You know, this is an election that, like for instance, I have to travel to my hometown in Delta State. I know many of you went through some hardships, even to register, to vote. Is it too much to ask to expect a positive outcome or return to all the hardships and sufferings? So do we need to wait till somebody is killed before we demand for our rights? I don't think we need to. You know, it is a Nigerian mentality which we are trying to talk about at COPDEM, that these things have to change. A lot of things we have endured so much. No, I don't think there is a people who will endure. There is a group that will say our mumu don't do. How is our mumu going to do in Nigeria? When we should start, we should do better than wait for somebody to be killed. Somebody is arrested. Like he actually narrated, he quoted all the rightful provisions of the constitution of the country, which is the ground norm, and which has not been breached. So you ask, on what basis were these people brutalized or detained? Did they commit a crime for going out to protest lawfully? So please, I think we should do better than wait for us to be killed before we react, before we stand for what we rightly fought for, what we rightly expect. Now, what is the meaning of all eyes on the judiciary to start with? All eyes on the judiciary is like saying the judiciary will trust you. You are the last hope, our last hope. At every stage of this election, we have been disappointed. Now we expect you to, at the end of the day, do that which is needful You know, we have not come out to criticize individual judges. We are not calling out the judicial officials. You know, like when a matter is sub judice, you are expected not to come and criticize or call out. Nobody has called out the name of the judges. Nobody has criticized the judiciary. In fact, it's like leaning a support from the masses on the judiciary. That is what the all eyes on the judiciary is all about. It's not about fighting the judiciary or being against the judiciary. No, nobody is against the judiciary. We are saying we are kind of soliciting the assistant. We are trying to tell the judiciary we are behind you. We are expecting that you, having been failed by the nation, by our political leaders, and the institutions of government, we expect you to do it differently. That is just all in a nutshell what we are all about. So let us not wait till somebody is murdered. But when somebody is murdered, it's gone and it cannot come back. But we have to, before then, stand up to say enough of impunity on the part of police, enough of illegality on the part of government and its agencies. That is what we should be. That is what we are advocating.
I want to ask you something, a question to barrister. This election petition is something that is set up. It's like selecting people that comes together to talk about whether there is any fraud or something like that, to sit on the petition. And I think they selected people for it. And after selecting them, I was thinking that after this petition will stop here, it cannot reach, maybe you don't have any need of going to Supreme Court again. Because it's selected. It's not a court. Is it a court process? I don't think. Okay, I thought it's just like a judgment, it's like a putter panel then. I was thinking, that was what I was thinking. Because going to that Supreme Court is another brutality, as far as I'm concerned. We are not having hope on them. And that is why we are talking about all eyes on judiciary. We are being scared, understand me, of what is going to happen the next. And we are hoping on judiciary for the right thing, that is justice. So that was why I was being scared. When they talk about, we are going to, they are saying, and if it's a computer panel, like it's supposed to be something that is, they select, maybe they will select the old judges, retired judges, supposed to be on the case, not the serving judges, because they call it panel. It's supposed to be retired judges, not the serving judges. That is just what I want to say for now.
The people that are handling the election petition cases, they are normal justices, and it is a normal court but a specialized court, and we must continue to trust in them. We must continue to hope that they do the correct thing. The only challenge is that there are pressures on them. The essence of all eyes on judiciary is to tell them, please do not bulge, do the right thing. All eyes on judiciary does not ascribe to any position. We are not saying rule for this person, don't rule for the other person. We are saying if you know what is right, please do it. We trust you. Because for you to be a judge, there is a level of or degree of competence and the credibility and the honesty and integrity that is attached to your name. And that is still there. So we are telling them, no matter whatever that is the pressure, please do the right thing. And so that be at home and be at home with your conscience.
First of all, I want to thank every one of us that taking this fight. I call it fight because it is about our destiny. Taking it upon his or herself to make sure that Nigeria works for all. Now, what I'm trying to solicit now from this our group or this our movement is that we should not restrict these movements to federal level. We have this kind of judgment we are waiting upon most of the states. For example, in Enugu State, we are aware that all eyes is also on judiciary there. But we know very well that there are a lot of things going on the ground we are aware of. And we want this pressure that we have here to also extend to the people there, to encourage them to do the same. Because I know very well there will always be a sort of intimidation by the ruling class. So please, I'm pleading to all of us and to those who are, who have what it takes to give help to those who are in various states, to also give support to them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for the questions, and for those that answer, thank you so much, Barrister. Thank you also, FCC Jones. I think it's time for us to call it a close. And I want to say thank you to all that took our time to come here today for this press briefing. Like we have mentioned, I want to let you know again that on Saturday, we will be having a peaceful rally, very peaceful one. COPDEM stands for peace, we keep saying that. But COPDEM will not take nonsense for anyone that would mislead the good citizens of this great country, Nigeria. Nigeria is our home. We have no other place and we can't run away. So all we're saying and advocating for is the right people to be in power, to rule us. We have a lot in us to give out. We can't keep leaving our country to other countries to develop their countries. We are great and we'll be great again. Thank you once again. And I want to let us know that we have all our flyers. We have our flyers everywhere. And we have the names of our coordinators, our coordinating from various areas on Saturday. Please do well to identify the area you'll be coming from. We have Gogolata, we have Kuje, we also have Buari, yes, Akpo axis, and we also have Lugbe axis. Please, our flyers are going around, our e-flyers. Thank you once again. Thank you so much, and God bless us all. Yeah.
Sir, during your presentation, you made mention of harassment, intimidation, and even detention of protesters. Are you not worried that the whole thing might degenerate into something more drastic? For example, we already heard of killings, although we later confirmed, or we were later informed that the person eventually made it to hospital and was resuscitated. Are we not worried that COPDEM might degenerate into something that can be like hijack by nefarious forces and so on? And if such a situation arises, what is the position of the law here?
The truth about it is that you can never, because you are afraid that some persons may hijack a system, or may hijack a movement, or may hijack a battle, and because of that you chicken out. It doesn't happen like that. At every point in life, there is always bound to be movement. The most important consideration is that you try as much as possible, you put in checks and balances. Make your rally to be peaceful. And we equally appeal to the police. We equally appeal to the police to provide protection. That is the only place that the police are needed as security agents, to provide protection, and they make it in such a way that the rally is not hijacked by undesirable elements. In the past, that has always been the fear. And we try as much as possible to make sure that it doesn't happen. Thank you.
Yes, one more thing.
Yes.
Some are worried that in a situation of arbitrary arrest by security agencies, that they might not have someone to speak for them, like at a police station or even at a court. Is there any provision for legal services for such people?
Yes. We have, the lawyers are there. Even if they can, you approach any lawyer, access to justice is unlimited, and it is without any hindrance. You can, just like the authority that I cited, in 2000, it happened in 2003, and even in 2011. Persons whose rights have been infringed upon during public rallies have been able to ventilate their grievances in court. All Nigerian People's Party did that in 2003, and in 2006, the Federal High Court in Abuja here, Justice Chikere, gave a well-considered judgment, which is a landmark, and clearly stating that you are entitled to that. And it is a fundamental right, it's a constitutional right that is protected under Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution. And if for any reason that you feel that it has been breached, like that of Bulus, the man that was brutalized, he will approach the court. And in this instance, I'm sure that Bulus have met people that will help him to approach the court and challenge the illegal brutalization which is suffered in the hands of security agents.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please, can we get to meet you? I mean, your name?
My name is Yayale Bulus.
Yayale Bulus. Yes. We understand you were at the rally the other day and you were brutalized.
Yes.
Please, can you tell us exactly what happened?
Okay, my name is Bulus Yayale. I am the victim of the brutal assault on Sunday afternoon. We were there for the Eye on the Judiciary march. We had a rally supposed to be at the city gate. So we got there around some minutes past 2, actually. Then we met some security operatives who told us that the rally or nothing can be held there. So we moved to Wonderland, now known as Magic Land. So we met other groups also who were in the process or who were supposed to be part of us for the Eye on the Judiciary march. So we got there and we sat down, we told them the development that we were not allowed to gather at the city gate. So when we got at the city gate, the police prevented us from holding our gathering there. So we shifted it to Wonderland, now known as Magic Land. While the police accosted us again from the city gate and met us at that point. And they asked us to give our phones. We had a lady journalist who was filming them because they were coming their numbers and they were numbering up to 100 and above. So when they got there, they approached the lady to give them her phone. I said no, and she passed the phone to me. So she now passed the phone to me and I passed it to one of our members too. So they descended on us and started beating us up. So from there they took us to their custody and later released us. So I was taken to the hospital last Sunday evening and was released on Tuesday evening. So that was what happened in a nutshell.
How do you manage to settle your hospital bills? Did the police do that? Did you report the incident to the authorities?
We came there under the group Neighbor to Neighbor. And then the group took the matter up. I don't know the extent to which they have gone with the pursuit, but I know they are working in that regard. And so far I've been having my medications even while at home. That's all I can say.